Hello and welcome to Byjus Exam Prep IAS. Let's get started and look into our daily quiz. Before we start with our practice questions for the day, a quick gentle reminder. Byjus Exam Prep IAS has already launched its official Telegram channel. What is that you have to do? Follow the link given in the description box or scan this QR code. This will take you to our official Telegram channel. Join the channel so that you get all the current affairs related updates. Let's get started and look into the first question. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to Neelakurinji flower? It is also called as scientifically Strombilanthus kunthiana. The flower has no smell but has medicinal value and is used in the treatment of arthritis. Some species of Strombilanthus are examples of a mass seeding phenomenon termed as masting, which is also seen in bamboo species. The Palayan tribal people living in Tamil Nadu use it as a reference to calculate their age. Which of the statements are correct? The answer to this is 2 and 3 only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a reference to Neelakurinji flowers, which is also called as the Strombilanthus kunthiana. Let us try and understand what are these options. When you look into the first statement, it says the flower has no smell. This part of the statement is right, but when you look into the second part of the statement, but has medicinal value and is used in the treatment of arthritis, is not the right statement, which is why the first statement is wrong, because this flower does not have any medicinal value. When you look into the second statement, some species of Trombilanthus are examples of mass seeding phenomenon termed as masting. This is right, and this is also seen in the bamboo species as well. So when you consider some species of Strombilanthus, these are the examples of mass seeding phenomena. This is called as the masting, and this can be defined as synchronous production of seed at long intervals by a population of the plants. So second statement is right. When you look into the third statement, the Palayan tribal people living in Tamil Nadu use it as a reference to calculate their age. This statement is once again right. When you look into Neelakurinji, this happens to be an undershrub. It grows to a height of 30 to 60 centimeters, and at times it can also grow beyond 2 meters as well. This is endemic to the Western Ghats. So it is usually seen in the state of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and belongs to Acanthaceae family. So remember, we have this Neelakurinji flower which grows in the Shola forest of Western Ghats. Why is it being used by the Palayan tribal people? That is because this particular flower blossoms only once in 12 years and also gives the Nilgiri mountain its name as well. When you consider the name of Neelakurinji, Neela basically stands for bluish color and Giri basically stands for mountain. So Nilgiris basically means it emanates from this particular flower. As part of protecting it, what we have is the Kurinjamala sanctuary, which helps in conservation of this particular plant species. Now let's look into the next practice question. Arrange the following hills from north to south: Javadi Hills, Nilgiri Hills, Annamalai Hills, Cardamom Hills. The answer to this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Why have we taken this practice question? That is because we have taken the same reference from the Neelakurinji flower. When you consider the Neelakurinji, Kurinji was once used to cover the Annamalai Hills, Cardamom Hills, Nilgiri Hills, Palani Hills, Kudremukh and Baba Budanagiri like a carpet during its flowering season. Now, plantations and dwellings occupy much of their habitat, and Neelakurinji also bloom in Chandradrona hill ranges, Baba Budanagiri in Chikmagalur district of Karnataka in 2006. So if we have to arrange it from north to south, what we have is the Javadi Hills followed by Nilgiri Hills, Annamalai Hills, and last what we have is the Cardamom Hills. So remember, there is Nallamala Hills at the top if we are considering other hills, followed by Javadi Hills. Then what we have is the Shevarai Hills. This can be very important from the preliminary examination point of view. Now let's look into the next practice question. Mankading, often seen in the news, is related to which amongst the following sports? Cricket, fencing, football, wrestling. The answer to this is cricket. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a reference to Mankading. What is this Mankading? This happens to be one of the process of running a batsman out in the sports of cricket. If I have to give you an example, recently we had an instance where we had the non-striker who had gone far too away from the non-striker's wicket, and in this particular backdrop you had the bowler who had not delivered the ball, but then the batsman had gone far away from the crease, so running this person out is what is called as Mankading. So basically we have the striker and the non-striker. When the non-striker runs far to excess even before the bowler delivers the ball, if such a person is run out, that is what is called as Mankading. The term comes from the name of the legendary former Indian cricketer Vinod Mankad. In 1947, when India were playing a series in Australia, Mankad dismissed opposition batsman Bill Brown twice by taking off the bails at the non-striker's end before releasing the ball. Mankad was attacked for allegedly violating the spirit of the game, but he had run Brown out only after he had warned him against backing up too far ahead. Even though the name Mankading stuck, Sunil Gavaskar has referred it as Brown. What are the new rules initiated by the International Cricket Council? The practice of Mankading, a batter being run out by the bowler while backing up too far from the non-striking end, has been destigmatized. It has been moved from the section on unfair play to the one as run out, and this is what is called as Mankading, and this is with respect to the sports of cricket. Now let's look into the next practice question. Which of the following scripts was written from right to left? We have Gurmukhi, Karosti, Shamukhi, Takri. The answer to this is 2 and 3. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Indian Express makes a reference to the scripts. When we speak about scripts, we have alphabets which are written from left to right, like in English, and there are also scripts where we write from right to left. This article here is speaking about all those scripts which are written from right to left. If you look into the question, Gurmukhi is one of the scripts where it is written from left to right. Then we have Karoshti, which is written from right to left. Then we have Shanmukhi, which is written from right to left, and Takri, which is written from left to right. As part of the assignment, you have to put on the comment section, are there any other scripts where you can write from right to the left? Please put it on the comment section. If we speak about the Karoshti, what exactly is the importance? Karoshti was one of the major scripts of the Northwest from 3rd century BCE to 3rd century CE. Karoshti script was extensively used by the Indo-Greek Psycho-Parthian rulers in their coins together with the Greek script. The Kushans used the Karoshti script in their inscriptions and coins. It was written from right to left in horizontal lines, and Karoshti was deciphered by James Prinsep and others around the middle of the century. These are some of the important facts with respect to the Karoshti. And when we speak about Brahmi script as given in the Indian Express article, it is the ancestor of Brahmic family of scripts, which includes all Indian scripts, Devanagari, Odia, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, etc., and also ancient scripts in Sri Lanka, Burma, Southeast Asian countries like Java, Sumatra, Cambodia. Present alphabets of Burma, Thailand, Indonesia, Laos, Cambodia are derived from Brahmi. The Ashokan inscriptions dating to the 3rd century used in Brahmi script is the earliest evidence of the use of Brahmi, and most Ashokan inscriptions were in the Prakrit language, while those in the northwest of the subcontinent were in Aramaic and Greek, and most Prakrit inscriptions were written in Brahmi script. However, some in the northwest were written in Karoshti. It was only after decades of painstaking investigations by several epigraphists that Prinsep was able to decipher Ashokan Brahmi in 1838. Now let's look into the next practice question. With respect to Pallavas, which of the following statements are incorrect? Kanchipuram was the capital of the Pallavas. Shore Temple at Mahabalipuram and Kanchi Kalistanath Temple at Kanchipuram are famous temples that were constructed during the reign of Pallavas. Mahendra Varman took control of Vatapi, the Chalukyan capital, and assumed the title Vatapi Konda. Which of the statements are incorrect? Since it is asking for the incorrect statement, the answer to this is 3 only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because the same Indian Express article also makes a reference to the Pallava era. Let us try and understand what are these options. When you look into the first statement, Yes, the first statement is right. Kanchipuram was the capital of Pallavas. So the first statement is right. When you look into the second statement, yes, Shore Temple at Mahabalipuram and Kanchi Kalesnath Temple at Kanchipuram are famous temples that were constructed during the reign of Pallavas, and it is this part, as you can see in the image, is where the Pallavas ruled that part of the kingdom. Now, if you look into the third statement, it reads Mahendravarman took control of Vatapi. This is a wrong statement. Why? That is because it is Narasimhavarman I who took control of the Vatapi, the Chalukyan capital, and assumed the title Vatapi Konda, and it is not Mahendravarman. As a result, the third statement is wrong. Since the question is asking for the incorrect statement, it would be C. Now let's look into the next practice question. Which one of the following has been constituted under the Environment Protection Act of 1986? Central Water Commission, Central Groundwater Board, Central Groundwater Authority, Central Water Development Agency. The answer to this is Central Groundwater Authority. This happens to be a previous year question from the year 2022. So remember, we have the Central Groundwater Authority, which has been constituted under Section 3 of the Environment Protection Act of 1986 for what? To regulate and control development and management of groundwater resources in our country. Now let's look into the fact of the day. The fact of the day for today's discussion is quiet quitting. Let us try and understand what is this concept. This is more to do with your labor issues which can pop up in your economics as well. When you look at this word quitting, you may assume that a person is leaving the job, but it is not so. What exactly happens in quiet quitting? We have the employer and we also have the employee as well. Employer is the one who is given the job. Then you also have the employee who is working for the employer. If there is a particular person who does not take up extra initiatives, who does not work after office hours, sticks to his job role, he does not take much active participation in other goals of the company, but only sticks to his job, does not look at emails after the working hours, does not answer calls after the working hours, such a person who is working for one of the companies is what is called as the quiet quitting. So quiet quitting is basically one who performs all his job assigned by an employer and not going above or beyond the job description is what is called as quiet quitting. Why is this phenomenon increasing? That is because when you look at the employers also have a responsibility. Responsibility to acknowledge for a fact that employees working hard. They also have to give extra incentives as well. They have to recognize their efforts. They have to compensate for putting in extra hours. When employers do not do all this, in that case, there is an employee who will only stick to his job role within the designated period, the designated hours, and will not work extra, which is what is called as the quiet quitting. Then there is another word called as the firing. What exactly happens? Let's say there is an employee who was once part of all the meetings. He was once part of all extracurricular activities of that particular company. He was asked, he was consulted, and in all the activities, this person was consulted by the company. But over a period of time, he is not invited to the meetings. He is not part of any of the activities. This basically means that the company wants this person to quit. So quit firing is where employers intentionally treat that particular person very badly so that that person leaves the job on his own is what is called as firing. Similarly, we have what is called as the go slow idea. What is this go slow idea? This dates back to the late 19th century when the organized dock workers of Glasgow, Scotland demanded a 10% hike in the wages. Then the employers were not happy with the workers. They do not give the 10% hike as well. So what do these people do? They go on a strike, and the company does not give importance to the strike as well. So what do? They parallelly hire other agriculturists as well. Once these agriculturists were hired, these people sense that they may lose their job as well, and they come back to the company. Once they come back to the company, they also realize that these dock workers were performing their task at an efficient level, but the agriculturists, because they do not have the expertise, they were not able to do so, and the amount of work that these agriculturists did were far less as well. So two persons were still not able to do the amount of work that a single person from this dock community did, As a result, these people, the dock workers, all of a sudden realize that even we have to start working like the agriculturists. So the efficiency over a period of time dropped as well. That is when the company realized that the efficiency is dropping over a period of time because the dock workers are working similar to that of the agriculturists, and eventually these employers ask the dock workers to work like before so that the efficiency increases over a period of time, and ultimately they were promised 10% hike for their work. It is this that we have to understand with respect to the concept of quiet quitting. This is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.